100.7 is on the air. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by
Pittsburgh Purple Dragon Basketball on ESPN 100.7 is brought to you by Bittner Motors, Wilbert & Towner, CDL Electric, Watco Companies, Commerce Bank, Vogel Heating and Air, Community National Bank and Trust, Spigarelli Law Firm, Crossland Construction, University Bank, SEK Urgent Care, Jocksnitch Sporting Goods, Kanar Eye Care, the Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, Lane Lord Basketball Camp, Lindbergh Pharmacy, Pet Care and Surgery Center, Pittsburgh State University, and Ryan Insurance.
Now let's go live courtside for tonight's pregame show on ESPN 100.7.
Welcome into the Fort Scott Tigers of Gymnasium here in Fort Scott, Kansas. I'm Showett. I'll be joined shortly by Avi Sharma. These two teams come in both winning their last game. Pittsburgh High School, the Lady Purple Dragons, have won their last four games. And as for the Lady Tigers, they had a magnificent win in their last outing, upsetting the Labette County Lady Grizzlies. We'll step aside for 2 minutes, and we'll listen to the interviews that Avi Sharma had when he caught up with both coaches. You are listening to ESPN 1007.
Don't miss the live radio auction Saturday, February 8 a.m. here on ESPN 100.7. Also broadcast on My Country 101.7 and KWXT 103.5. We will have farm and ag products, soybeans, equipment, and more, plus food plots for those deer hunters, recliners, mattresses, meat bundles, generators, and the list keeps growing. If your business would like to get involved with the radio auction, you can call 620-232-5993 for more info. To get your business on the area's largest radio auction, covering Southwest Missouri and Southeast Kansas, February 24th at 8 a.m. Don't miss it. For all those New Year's resolutions, stop at Jocksnitch to get your new running shoes and new workout gear from Nike to Adidas. We also have Brooks and Asics running shoes to get the new year started right. Here at Jocksnitch in downtown Pittsburgh, Adidas Ultra Boost on sale for a great price of $129.99. Stop in to see the Jocksnitch sales we have going on right now. You don't want to miss these deals. Select Chiefs and Royals apparel are marked down. Stop in Jocksnitch today in downtown Pittsburgh.
Sporting goods from Jocksnitch.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank, branch GMB, member FDIC.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And we welcome back to ESPN 100.7 alongside with head coach of the girls basketball for Pittsburgh High School, Coach Chris Cross. Coach, it was an impressive victory on Friday against Chanute, and it was a very intense matchup. Last time it went into double overtime. Talk about how your girls executed very well towards the end of that game.
Yeah, it was a tough ball game. I knew they were going to come out ready to play. When our girls came out, matched their intensity, and we played. The girls played some pretty good defense. Our offense in spurts kind of was good, but in other times we had some dry spells. But our defense was pretty good the whole game and kind of kept us in it and helped us to get the win.
And, Coach, one thing about this team, they are a very, very young team, but at the beginning, it seemed like the chemistry wasn't there yet, and now all of a sudden it's sparked. There's a lot of girls that have confidence in themselves. Talk about the transition of how these girls have grown up, if you will, and how they become really great players to help out your team.
Yeah, I think it comes with their work ethic. I just feel like the girls, they've worked really hard. They've been determined. We've thrown out throughout the years things we need to work on, some areas of focus, and I feel like the girls have really, in practice, they've adhered to what we've said and really tried to put it into action. And then, through their hard work, they've seen some success, and that's just builds confidence. And I said it just comes down to their work ethic. They're a really hard-working group of girls.
And it seems that 2018 is really their year, coaches. They've been absolutely phenomenal. It's a big turnaround how they started the season, And you talk about the bench, man. They are just something else for you. You got Ella Hendrickson. You have the Penamani twins. You have so many talents that just grown up and just played very, very well. Talk about how that bench has been a key factor for your team.
Oh, definitely. Well, the main thing is. We're more well rested. Early in the year, we played teams pretty tight through a half, playing pretty tight through 3 quarters, and we've kind of learned now how to finish games. I think some of that is because overall we're more rested throughout the game. That we're not completely worn out getting into the 4th quarter because we're able to go 8 or 9 deep, and it's just. Again, it's just a testament to those bench players, their work ethic to get in there and play hard. And, they're starting.
Abby Casper, boy, it'd be something to see those two play all 4 years together, but unfortunately that's not the case. But talk about Casper being the leader on this team, a senior, her and Caitlin Kidd, and how they can teach Petty and Hendrickson and so many others on leaving a good note and telling these girls what to do.
Well, I think that they've already put their fingerprint on this team and on this younger group of girls in that, Kidd and Casper are just 2 players that when they come into practice, they don't say a whole lot. I mean, they just come in and it's just business and they work hard. They get after it every day, and they've set the tone for those younger girls to see that, you come into practice every day with the idea to compete, to get better. You don't take days off. And like I said, I feel like they've somewhat already, stamped our team that way, and hopefully that carries over for years to come.
And, Coach, tonight we have a big matchup against Fort Scott. You're going to have to look on to carry on the momentum. Fort Scott knocked off Labette County on Friday night. You said you control your own destiny. What's it like going into tonight's matchup?
Oh, big game tonight. And like I said, I know Fort Scott's going to be ready to play. They're a very talented group. And I just know that we've talked about our girls, that we've got to come out with a lot of energy and focus and be ready to play. And it's going to be a tough task tonight. And I said it should be a fun game.
And, Coach, last time you guys played, it was a long, long time ago. You guys fell short to them, but again, this is 2 different ball clubs. What are you expecting to see from this team than you didn't see last time? And that goes for both teams, actually.
Well, I'm hoping, like I said, our bench plays a little more of a role now, and maybe we're a little more rested throughout the game to, put in 4 quarters of focus and energy and put that towards a possible victory.
That was head coach for the girls basketball at Pittsburgh High School, Chris Krotz. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll get the starting lineups here on ESPN 100.7.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Are you tired of all those confusing checking account options? The Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union makes your choice simple. We only have one option. Our checking account has no monthly fees, and if you maintain a $2,000 minimum balance, we pay you interest. Get the Credit Union Advantage at 416 North Broadway or call 620-231-5719 for more information. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA up to $250,000.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
And we welcome you back to ESPN 100.7 alongside the girls head coach for Fort Scott, Pashawn Steps. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Pretty good, Coach. You got to be feeling pretty good after Friday when you had a very intense matchup against Labette County on senior night, and you went in there and upset those girls in an impressive overtime victory. Coach, talk about that game.
Well, it was an exciting game to go overtime there. It was an exciting win for our program. We're fortunate enough to beat a tough Labette team who's ranked in the state, who has a premier player in Tristan Gegg. They've been playing some really, really good basketball all season long. We were just fortunate enough to come out of there one more point than they had. Our girls were excited. It's been a tough road for us over the past 4 years with wins and losses, but we're on a 5-game winning streak right now, and our girls are playing with a little bit of confidence, and we're just happy to get a win against a tough Labette team.
And you talk about that 5-game winning streak. It seems that you guys have had pretty good margin in victories in all of those, a couple nail-biters. Talk about what has been going on in that 5-game win streak. Talk about the chemistry and how these girls have, turned things around to have a good 2018.
Oh, one thing that's helped us, we've been in our games this year. It's come down to being able to finish down the stretch. That's the one thing. After mid-season tournament, we really talked about stress was learning how to finish games. And that doesn't mean necessarily making the game-winning shot. That means making game-winning plays as far as setting a screen to get your teammate open, or getting a key rebound, or making a free throw down the stretch, or, being in the right place the coach tells you to, or paying attention to detail, or reading the scouting report. We've done a better job of just understanding the game, understanding what's expected, understanding time, score, and situation. Girls have invested in that. And, we struggle, like I talked about earlier, we struggled the past 4 years with just learning how to win. And so, that's an acquired thing. You have to learn how to win. And so after our last game at the midseason tournament in Frontenac, we beat a Turner team, and then we were fortunate enough to beat a tough Girard team here at home in a nail-biter that came down to the last possession. And from there, we kind of started gaining a little bit of confidence, believing in ourselves, and just kind of figuring out how to make game-winning plays and make the plays down the stretch to get a W. And then we've been lucky enough, it's been the last 5, so we'll take it. You want to be playing some good basketball during this time. I think we're peaking at the right time, and this is when you want to be going in that direction.
And you talk about the chemistry and how these girls have been playing a lot very well together. You talk about it. There's a bunch of seniors on this team that have been the spark and the leaders for this ball club. Talk about your seniors and how they have made a big impact for your team.
Well, they've definitely been instrumental in our program. This is my 4th year of coaching girls basketball here at Fort Scott High School, and these seniors were freshmen. So this is my first full class when I very first took over to come through. So these seniors are very, very important to me. They've shown some great leadership. We're led by our 2 senior high point ladies, Madison Cook, who's averaging about 18 points, 10 rebounds a game. She's an early signee to Central Missouri, so I'm excited that she's going to further her basketball career. And then we have Skylar Brown, who's our point guard, who's averaging about 11 points a game, 3 assists. The last 3 games, she's been 18, 19, and 20. Very excited about the way she's playing. We have Carson Dwyer, who's out on the wing for us, Jimmy Denton, who's out on the wing and our defensive stopper. Then we also have another senior post player, Kelsey Nelson, who does all the dirty work. She's kind of an unsung hero. She gets the rebounds, sets the good screens, does some of those things. So very fortunate to be led by this senior group. And, early on, these seniors were the only ones who really had varsity experience. So it took us a little bit of time to incorporate some of our underclassmen. Some of our juniors have been able to help in as of late. Josie Allen, a guard, Sierra Stumple, Abby Hummel, and then we have a little freshman that's been helping us out some too, Ella Beth. So it took her a little bit of time to adjust as well. So we have a good mix of players. I suit up 15 on Friday night, but I'm comfortable with any one of those 15 girls to step in if need be to contribute. So happy about where we are. We're just excited. Our town's excited. Our fans are excited. So hopefully we can keep it going.
And, Coach, you talk about the SEK conference. It is one of the toughest places to play. I mean, you look at all the teams on the board there. It's just so tough. You've had nail-biters between all those teams. Talk about what it's like to be second place in that conference and how you're not done yet and how it's going to be impactful come playoff time.
Well, yeah, the SEK, there's no nights off in SEK. You have to come ready to play each and every night. And something you alluded to earlier, even though Friday was a huge win for our program against Labette, we can't be satisfied with that. We have to turn around and play a tough Pittsburgh team tonight as well, and then go on the next week or next Friday and play a tough Coffeyville team. So there's no nights off. You have to come in being ready for each opponent and be able to absorb their best shot, just like we want to take it to them. They want to take it to us, and Pittsburgh is a rivalry game. It's tough, but having this tough conference schedule gets you, battle hardened for sub-state, and hopefully if you're fortunate enough to go on to state. So it's exciting. All games are exciting. It's a great conference. All the coaches get along. So that's a good thing. And,
Coach, you just mentioned it. Tonight you will play the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, and, you faced them earlier in the season, had a healthy margin victory, but, you're a different team. They're a different team. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, they're a really great team. They're on a 4-game winning streak. To say that they're led by they got a freshman guard, Morgan Petty, I believe, who's a really, really good player, can shoot the ball. She's had games where she's had 20 or 30 points. They have senior Abby Casper, who's that sets the tone for them. Hard-nosed defender. She does a little bit of everything for them. So we have to go in ready to play. Like I said earlier, it's kind of a trap game. You have such an emotional high win on Friday. If we don't come out ready to play tonight, we will get beat. So we have to come out, match Pittsburgh's intensity. This is a rivalry game for us, always with Pittsburgh. So hopefully that motivation and playing at home in front of our home crowd, in front of our student body, will be enough to help us get over the hump.
That was Coach Steps, head coach for the girls of the Fort Scott Tigers. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. You're listening here on ESPN 100.7.
Bittner Motors is proud to announce that it is now Pittsburgh's new dealer for the Hustler line of zero-turn lawnmowers. Hustler has manufactured its trademark yellow mower for over 50 years, with each mower being built right here in the U.S. Hustler combines the innovative American spirit with a do-it-right work ethic to produce the best line of zero-turn mowers on the market. Call Mike Bittner at 620-232-1530 or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburgh to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers. Hustler Mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburgh.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale Hubbell independent rating system. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
Let's go back live courtside.
And we welcome you to ESPN 100.7. Tip-off has already began. We are underway here. Abby Casper with the basketball. We already have one made basket so far. It's by Skylar Brown. Brown with the first points of the game. And now for PHS, they have the basketball. Casper with it atop the key. She shifts it to the right side. It is Madden Petty. Petty over to Sophia Pinamani. Goes to Casper. Casper loses it. And the ball is out of bounds, and therefore it will be Tiger basketball. Your starting lineups here: Skylar Brown, Jenny Denton, Carson Dwyer, Madison Cook, and Kelsey Nelson for the Tigers. And on the other hand, you have Madden Petty, Caden Matlock, Sophia Pinamani, Caitlin Kidd, and Abby Casper. Tigers with the basketball. It's Denton. She looks to drive. Now she kicks it out to the outside. It's Cook. Cook puts up a shot, and it is good. And 2 for 2 for the Tigers already. They are starting strong. 6:06 left on the clock. Casper gets it to Caitlin Kidd. Now Casper has it again. She looks to drive. There's nothing there. It's a good stout defense by the Tigers. It's the 2-3 zone for Fort Scott. Ball goes out of bounds as Petty tried giving it to the outside to Caitlin Kidd, and it's out of bounds.
I tell you what, Avi, that last move that you saw by Cook to score for her second basket was a beautiful spin there in the post. Gave her just enough room to sink it.
And now Cook bringing the ball up, looking over at her coach to get the official coach steps to see what the play calling is. Cook with it on the right side. She gets it to the middle. It's Dyer. It's a three well up and off. Rebounded by Petty. And now the Dragons will now bring it down the other side. Casper now sets up the offense. Nothing doing so far. Pinamani, who travels with it, had a wide open Casper on the left side, but it was a great call. Pinamani, a little too eager on that one.
Switched her pivot feet. That's what got her right there.
Now back with it comes Denton. Or excuse me, Cook. She gets it to the handoff to Skylar Brown. Brown now. Dyer. Back over to Cook. It's just a give and go offense. Skylar Brown with it loses it, and it now becomes Sophia Pinamani's basketball. And now here come the Purple Dragons on the other end. Casper dribbling it one-on-one. Petty on the right side for three. Up and no good. Madden Petty's second shot no good. Rebounded by Sophia Pinamani though. Stolen away. And now the Tigers have the basketball as Dyer. Over to Brown. Brown lobs it up. It was a great idea. It was a turnover though as Madden Petty, she's trying to go coast to coast. Power stops it, puts it in. Madden Petty now 1 for 3 on the day.
Great look there by Petty to know the defense was going to give her that step back, so she did a nice jump stop, bounced off the glass.
Petty's that kind of a player. She's a shooter first before anything, and it proves how good of a shooter she is. Dyer with the basketball. She gets it over to Kelsey Nelson. Nelson, the lob pass inside. They were really wanting that inside. It was denied as it was going towards Cook.
Got to credit the interior defense of the Dragons right now. They are not letting those interior passes go very easily, contesting every one of them.
Ball's out of bounds. They'll throw it in. Got it in. Skylar Brown has it. She looks back to the person who threw it in, which was Dwyer. And then she traveled, so now it's another turnover. So a bit of a rough start so far right now, Shelby. Both teams are not comfortable just yet.
Well, if you look at it coming into this game, both teams are riding multiple game winning streaks, so they got a lot of adrenaline going. They want to keep this momentum up, so that could be causing them to play a little out of themselves, causing all these early turnovers.
Petty with the basketball, kicks it out to Sophia Pinamani. Pinamani on the left side now gets it to Casper, who's up the middle. Casper's going to go right to the basket, and it's a foul on the floor. Big call there because it was a made basket. The foul is going to be against Skylar Brown. That's going to be Skylar's first foul of the game.
That is a big call. That could be a huge momentum swing this early in the game. Yeah, it's still a foul on Fort Scott, but at this point there are no points on the board as a possibility of 3 if she'd have made the free throw.
Couple substitutions. Cassidy Odell in for the Dragons, and freshman Ella Beth for the Tigers. Inbounded, Kidd has it. She looks at Matlock. Matlock at the top of the key. Finds Petty on the right wing. Petty now dribbles to the top. She makes a crossover, loses the ball, gets it to Casper. Casper now drives. She's double teamed. Tried to go inside. Bad pass to Caitlin Kidd. Somehow the ball's still strapped around there, and it's going to be a held ball. And it will be Tiger basketball.
That's great defense and great hustle there by the Dragons. They didn't give up. They went after it as much as possible, and now, a little over 4.5 minutes into the game, you finally see this press that the Dragons have kind of instituted over the last few games.
Press is being applied, and easily getting across with Skylar Brown. Brown to Cook, to now Beth. Beth with it at the top of the key. She gets it back to Skylar, excuse me. Now over on the right side is Denton. Back with it is Brown. Brown at the top of the key. She's having a tough time with Casper all in her face. Ella Beth now with it. The freshman with some great moves to back over to Skylar, and a foul on the play.
You know, you mentioned Beth. I was watching her in the JV game that was going on before this one started. She has got some skills with the ball in her hand that I can't even imagine. Even if I practiced solid for 3 weeks, I don't think I'd come anywhere close to it.
Abby Casper committed with the foul. Inside, there's the inside that they were looking for, and they finally converted. Kelsey Nelson with the basket, her first attempt of the night. Now Casper goes to the left side, gets it to Caden Matlock. Matlock to Petty on the right side. Still a stout defense here for the Lady Tigers. Cassidy Odell gets it over to Petty on the right side. Inside pass. Caitlin Kidd, she puts up a shot, and it is no good. Rebounded by Beth. Now she will drive all the way into the right side. Gets it to Skylar Brown. Brown now passes it over. And in is Josie Allen as well. Cook with it on the right side. She jacks up a 3. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Casper. Casper goes to the other side. Long pass over to Madden Petty. Petty on the right side. Throws a beautiful pass to Cassidy Odell. Shot is no good. And Madden's able to come up with it. Madden loses it now. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay Purple Dragon basketball.
You know, that was a beautiful look there by Madden Petty. Typically not what you see from her. She's a shooter first, but she recognized the open shooter on the opposite block. You just got to hope that this one missed shot doesn't change her from going away from that.
Odell into inbound. She'll get it to Casper. Now Casper, a little bit of pressure on her, gets it to Odell. Now Caden Matlock has it. Tough pass to Madden Petty, but it was a foul by Josie Allen. That's Allen's first. That's the team's second foul. Ella Hendrickson in for the Purple Dragons. She's been very vital off the bench as a freshman lately, putting up big minutes, getting big boards and points. Odell with it on the left side. She gets it to Casper. Casper now looks. There's nothing there. She finds a wide open Matlock in the middle, and it's a wide open shot that goes in. Caden Matlock, big shot. Notches it down 6-4 now. Now on the other side, it's the freshman. It is no good. I believe it was a swatted away pass. It was rebounded by Madison Cook. Cook gets it, and it is good. So Cook now 2 for 2 on the field. Gets it to an 8-4 ball game. Less than a minute left on the clock now. Matlock again, a wide open shot. That's her spot, and she's now 2 for 2 from that spot. And so now, a bit of a pressure applied. Everybody will back off, and it might potentially just be one play here as Cook got it over to Beth. Beth, the freshman, puts up a tough shot, no good. Rebounded by Josie Allen. Allen now over to Beth. Beth goes by one defender, two defender, puts up a tough shot. Ringer, no good. Casper with the rebound, and here comes Abby Casper. You hear the calls by Coach Krotz. Casper, she's just going to go coast to coast, and she will put it in. Abby Casper. Big shot, 2 seconds on the clock. The shot is up, and it is no good as it was attempted by Madison Cook. And so that'll do it just like that, Shelby. The first quarter has come to an end. Our score 8-8. Very intense matchup so far. We're going to take a 30-second break, and when we come back, we'll discuss more and get ready for the second quarter. You're listening here on ESPN 100.7.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees played on those fields and were educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction, build you.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And we welcome you back to the city of Fort Scott. It is a beautiful Tuesday and a 8-8 ball game here in the second quarter now beginning to play. Shelby White, what do you think so far, buddy?
Well, both teams came out and they were a little sloppy, but the second half of the first quarter, you saw them all those just kind of settle down, get into doing what they're wanting to do, and that's when the scoring on both sides picked up. So I honestly foresee this to be a very tight contest going forward.
Riley Johnson, the new Dragon, in for Pittsburgh, and Sierra Stumful, the new Tiger. It will be Pittsburgh basketball. Caden gets it to Abby Casper, and you see the tight defense here. Kidd lobs it up to Petty, who gets it in to Madden Petty, and Madden Petty with a very, very tough shot. Unbelievable how she got that one.
Acrobatic moves right there. She had to sky over the defender to get the ball to put up the shot.
Cook cans it over to Beth. Beth now on the left side. Got Stumful. Stumful back to Allen. Elsie Allen gets it to Dyer. And it's just the traditional move the ball around the wing. Finally an open shot. It's Stumful who's going to put it up, and it is good. So Sierra Stumful making her name known very quickly in this matchup.
That was fantastic ball movement there by the Tigers. Of it, just moved it around and eventually broke down the Dragon defense.
10-10 our score. Riley Johnson with it on the left side. Gets it to Petty, and Petty's having herself quite the matchup tonight against Allen. And it's going to be an offensive
Called
foul.
it a travel.
Traveling, thank you. And so now Skylar Brown back into the game for the Tigers. Big possession there as Petty traveled. And so now it'll be Fort Scott basketball. And it will be Ella Beth with it. With Petty looking her on. Gets it over to Skylar. And now into Cook. It's a three-shot taken and good. Let's see what they call this one. Dwyer made the shot. And the basket does count. So there was a... So it turns out there was a foul on Caitlin Kidd after the shot. So the shot counts and it's going to be Tiger basketball. Very interesting. And so now there's a shot taken by Skylar Brown. It's no good. Rebounded by the Dragons. I believe it was Caden Matlock with the rebound. Petty with it. And Madden Petty, the freshman, back to Abby Casper. Casper, the senior, and basically the leader of this team, as she is a very energetic spark plug that this team could very much use. Casper gets it to Petty. Petty on the right side. And she took a hit, and she got it to Caitlin Kidd inside. Kidd is fouled. And Caitlin Kidd was shooting, so therefore she's going to the charity stripe.
Now going back to that foul by Kidd when the Dragons are on defense, I haven't watched basketball a whole lot, especially here recently. You've probably seen more of it, but have you ever seen a call like that?
I have not.
Because normally if there's a foul on the shot, they will put the shooter to the line for an one attempt, not just give the offensive team the ball back.
I was also, that was new to me as well, Shelby. So Kidd attempted her first free throw. It's no good. But, yeah, you're absolutely correct. It was different to see, if you will. So now Kidd attempts her second. It is no good. So Kidd 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Rebounded by Cook. Cook gets it over to Skylar Brown. Brown now over to Ella Beth. And Beth gets it to Jenny Denton. Denton back in the game after a breather. Skylar Brown now has it. Top of the key, guarded by Petty. But it's a good move. Puts up a tough shot. And she is fouled by Abby Casper. And Casper cannot believe it.
It was a heady move there by Brown in that she did a pump fake after she picked up her dribble. Was able to draw the Dragon defender in the air and then leaned into it and made the shot to draw the shooting foul.
And so that foul will be Casper's second. She will have to come out as Denton's first free throw, no good. Or excuse me, that was Skylar Brown from the free throw line. So Cassidy Odell comes in for the Dragons. 12-10 our score. The Lady Tigers lead it with 5:56 on the clock in the second quarter. Brown, second free throw. Much better. She's now 1 for 2. Bit of a pressure applied now by Fort Scott. Cassidy Odell has it at half court, and the ball goes out of bounds. It will bounce off of Madison Cook, as Odell did not see her coming when she ran into her. Coach Krotz yelling out the play. They're going to set it up. Sophia Penamani on the left side. She came in during the substitution. She gets it to Petty. Petty goes right inside to Caitlin Kidd. Kidd looks for Matlock on the right side. It's denied, actually, and it's going to be out of bounds. Still Pittsburgh basketball. 5:41 on the clock. Kidd slaps the ball twice, throws it over, gets Matlock. Matlock's been a good shooter so far for the team. Sophia Penamani on the left side. Petty for 3. It's good. Madden Petty is your all-around player, and she continues to do so. What a job done by Petty. And now on the other end, it is the Tigers. Stumful has it. Now she gets it over to Skylar Brown. Brown at the top of the key. Finds Cook. Cook puts up a right-handed floater. It's no good. Kidd was the last one. Oh, I thought Kidd was the last one to touch it. It turns out it was Stumful who touched it last. So it's going to be Pittsburgh basketball.
Both teams playing with a high amount of energy. Both now and when they started the game, they seem to have that energy under control at this point in the game, however.
Half-court pressure applied. Pittsburgh easily gets it over, and now Sophia Penamani finds inside Caitlin Kidd. Kidd now a little bit of trouble there. She was double-teamed, gets it back to Petty. Cassidy Odell on the right side. She's going to attempt her first shot of the night. It is no good. Rebounded by Stumful. And now on the other way comes the Tigers. However, Skylar Brown lost it, and that's a turnover.
You know, I've noticed these last couple possessions, the Tigers have a unique defense where they're applying that front court pressure, but once it crosses the timeline, they drop into either a 2-1-2 or a 2-3 zone.
2-3 zone applied against the Dragons as Caitlin Kidd had a wide open shot, misses it, and watch the speed demon of Ella Beth go as she lost it actually at half court, gets it back. Skylar Brown with it inside is Cook. With Stumful wide open on the left side. Basket good. Stumful again. 2 for 2 from the floor right now. She is big factor coming off the bench. Caden Matlock gets to the right side. Madden Petty, who gets it to Cassidy Odell. And an easy call. She traveled. She moved before she put the ball on the ground. That's a turnover. Carson Dwyer now comes in for the Tigers. She comes in for Madison Cook. Madison Cook had some good minutes so far in this game, but a quick breather before halftime. And now Ella Beth looks over. She's going to be guarded by Cassidy Odell. Under 4 minutes on the clock, and I don't know if it's a handling problem or what's going on, but Skylar Brown can't hang on to it, Shelby. That's another turnover.
You know, it could just, like I said, that both teams have a lot of energy coming in. I think they're just trying to do a little too much.
Ella Hendrickson subbed in for the Purple Dragons. She will inbound it to Madden Petty. Petty now will act as the point guard on the team. Not too many times you see that. Petty gets it over to Sophia Penamani on the left side. Penamani looks to drive. Now she hands off to Petty. Petty gets it to Hendrickson. Hendrickson Back to Petty, inside, give and go. Hendrickson was not ready for the basketball. Somehow she got it. Penamani now kicks it to the center. Petty has it at the top of key, calls out a play, and now the girls are going to move. Running an offense. Cassidy Odell, she's going to drive, put up a shot. It's a blocking foul, so Cassidy Odell is going to the charity stripe.
Blocking fouls are some of the hardest ones to call as an official because it's purely up to your discretion. A centimeter one way or the other, and it could be a charge.
So Stumpfel, who's having the good game so far, gets committed with her first crime as she has a foul. Cassidy Odell with the charity stripe. First one up and good. Couple substitutions. Abby Casper coming in for the Purple Dragons. Kelsey Nelson coming in for the Tigers. And also Madison Cook. Quick breather. She's already back on the floor. And Caden Matlock's going to come in as well. She's going to sub in for Caitlin Kidd.
That was real close there by Matlock. She ran directly onto the floor as opposed to going to the scorer's table. Very lucky the official was gracious enough to let her come in.
Odell's second free throw attempt. It's no good. Rebounded and a bit of a stinger's Madison Cook as she landed not too well. And just like that, she's going to limp off. Not sure if I was able to tell which leg it was.
I believe it was her right ankle that she landed and twisted.
Hopefully she's okay. Skylar Brown now comes in. It seems that Cook is okay, just a little bit of a stinger. So Skylar with the basketball. 3:15 on the clock. She calls out a play. She's guarded by Caden Matlock. Gets it over to Ella Beth, and Beth on the bit of the right side of the wing there. Hands it to the left side to Jenny Denton. Denton now back to Skylar Brown. Brown looking for a pick. Gets the pick by Kelsey Nelson. Now back over to Ella Beth. Beth dribbling around a little bit. Now back to the top of the key goes Skylar Brown. And now Ella Beth will get it again, and they're going to reset the offense. And it's another screen by Nelson. Ella Beth attempted to go inside. Look for a pass to Dwyer. And it's a foul as Beth got fouled. Let's see by who. And it's going to be against Madden Petty. That's Petty's first. And so now Ella Beth will go to the free throw line. They believe it was a shooting foul. First one for Beth is good. Couple substitutions for both teams. Caitlin Kidd comes in. She's going to come in for Ella Hendrickson. I believe Ella Beth is going to get a substitution here if she makes the free throw. Beth dribbles it around twice now, puts up the shot. Free throw is up and good. So Beth doing her thing, 2 for 2 from the line. And now coming in is Josie Allen. Allen's got 2 fouls, so keep that in mind as she has 2:46 left on the clock.
It'll be interesting to see if the Dragons can break the press a little easier than they have the last couple times. They have been lucky that they haven't gotten stopped right at the corner, just crossing half court.
Press breaker not broken yet as Kidd is trapped at the top of the court there. Finally gets it over to Casper. Casper gets it to Matlock, and Matlock is fouled. So Matlock will go to the free throw line, and I believe it's going to be on Dwyer.
That was exactly what I was talking about, Avi. But that's something that you will learn with experience. This is a very young Dragons team. They only have 4 upperclassmen. So the more playing time, the more reps they have, eventually they'll learn, hey, we can't just automatically go to the corners like that and expect to break a press.
Caden Matlock's first free throw, no good. Ella Beth take a quick break. She's back in. She comes in Dwyer. So now Matlock. Second free throw up and no good, so the free throw woes continue. Caitlin Kidd gets the rebound. She gets in a bit of a scrum. And ball goes out of bounds, and the referee's going to tuck this one over. Not sure who it was. I believe it should be Tiger basketball, but I was wrong. It's going to be Purple Dragon basketball. 2:28 on the clock. Tigers lead 17-14. Odell looks to inbound, finds an easy Caitlin Kidd on the inside. Cassidy, easy foul there. She elbowed her way out of a bit of a pressure, and now Cassidy Odell has her
third. That was a frustration foul there. She used up her one dribble for one and then had a Tiger in her face. She was trying to create some separation when she didn't have anything. Just let her emotions overtake her there.
Well, just like that, Cassidy Odell now has to come out, and that will bring in Riley Johnson. Ella Beth with the basketball. She's going to dribble around, get past Petty, kicks it out to Josie Allen. Allen now to Skylar Brown, who puts up a three. It looked good, but it couldn't fall. Rebounded by Caitlin Kidd, and off go the Dragons. Riley Johnson with it on the left side. She kicks it over to Petty. This is the three play for Madden Petty. You betcha. How about Petty? Another one. And that ties the game up. Under 1:45 on the clock. Tigers looking to run a smooth offense here to get a basket. Brown has it. And there's a foul on the play. It's going to be a offensive foul. I believe this one's going to be against Kelsey Nelson. That's exactly who it is. Kelsey picks up her first foul. So the fouls are starting to pile up here, Shelby. 6 for the Tigers and 5 for the Purple Dragons.
I mean, this late in the half, it's not terrible because you're only going to be in the 1-on-1 territory. But then you got to start looking at each player's personal fouls and how it could affect your strategy in the second half.
Casper at half court. She's a little bit pressured by Allen. Riley Johnson on the left side, and you just see the ball movement over the head. Caden Matlock, as she converts, she is now 3 for 3 on the floor. And quickly down the other side come the Fort Scott Lady Tigers.
On that offensive possession, you saw the Dragons execute the same ball movement that early in the game the Tigers were executing.
Josie Allen inside to Skylar Brown, and Brown is fouled. It was a trio of Purple Dragons as Coach Krotz wanted a charge. The foul's going to be against Caitlin Kidd. That's going to be her second team foul. Or excuse me, her second foul, team 6th. But regardless, Skylar Brown's going to the free throw line.
Coach Krotz getting a little encouragement from his bench coaches to come back and maybe not necessarily show up the officials, just ask them over and get some information.
Brown's first shot, no good. Abby Humble, first time calling her name. She steps on the floor for the Lady Tigers as Ella Hendrickson comes in as well for the Purple Dragons. 17-19 our score. Pittsburgh now takes the lead, 53.8 on the clock, as the second free throw just bounces around, no good, rebounded by the Purple Dragons.
Neither team has had much luck getting a shooter's roll. Hits both sides of the rim and then goes out, it seems.
Caden Matlock with that at top. Now Abby Casper with it. They're going to run a play, and then they're going to start doing their thing. Madden Petty, she gets it to Casper. Casper with a good fake, good move. Look for an open Matlock, but it was too soft of a pass as it was stolen away by Jenny Denton. And now Denton with it. Over on the right side is Josie Allen. Allen looks up at the clock. Now she's going to put on the shimmy moves against Casper. Couldn't do anything there. Denton now with it. And now back over to Ella Beth, who looks over at the bench to get the official play call, and then they're going to run something here to run out the clock and get a potential good last shot. Good defense applied by Madden Petty as the freshman blows by 3 people. No good. Rebounded by Riley Johnson. Johnson's got to go if she wants to get this thing up. Petty shoots it. It's not in time, I don't think so. Shot was no good. But regardless, we're at halftime. Our score, 19-17. A pretty good, exciting end of the first half, if you will, as the Purple Dragons lead this thing 19-17. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have some stats, and we're going to go over what we saw. You're listening here on ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast in names and numbers.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss.
It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Let's go back live courtside.
And we welcome you back to the city of Fort Scott. Our score here is 17-19. The Purple Dragons have the lead here at half. Shelby, what did you see in the first half?
I saw a lot of jitters, but again, I keep coming back to this. Both teams have a multiple game winning streak coming into this, so they just have a lot of energy, and they're wanting to do everything they feel they should to keep that momentum going. However, I also saw both teams kind of calm down, settle in what they were doing. Both teams have shown the ability on offense to set up excellent passing to get the ball inside and to get open looks. So then they just need to trust themselves in doing that to calm down and keep making those shots.
So far, it's been a pretty interesting half. As like I mentioned, our score 17-19. Let's quickly run through some statistics here. As we'll start out with the Lady Tigers. You have Ella Bett, the freshman, who's had a lot of minutes so far in this game, playing very, very well, driving by a lot of defenders. She's 0 for 2 from the floor, but she's 2 for 2 from the free throw line, so she's got 2 points tonight. Skylar Brown, she's basically the leader of this team, I believe. She's the one who, and when the game comes down to it, and the shot needs to be put up, Skylar's the girl to put it up, as she has 5 tonight. She is 0 for 1 from the three-point line, but she's 3 of 4 from the free throw line, and then she's made 1 basket. You have Sierra Stumfel, who I believe is the player that has really surprised me. Stumfel has 4 points so far and has played very, very well. And Shelby, it seems that this bench for the Tigers have really come in clutch because there's been a bit of early foul trouble so far for them.
I agree. I think that is one thing that we could probably see later in this game, just the overall depth that this Tiger bench has. I mean, even watching this JV game, there's some JV players that are playing on this varsity squad, and they're putting up quality minutes and eating quality time. Even though it seems like they're out for very short bursts, those times are all they need to get those batteries recharged enough to do something good and start the offense in some form or fashion.
And I agree with you 100%, and they're doing a good job. Hopefully they'll calm down a little bit, like you mentioned, and play a better second half. Madison Cook, she has 4 points, and then Kelsey Nelson with 2. Now for the Purple Dragons, who started very slow as well, who also picked up the pace once Madden Petty got hot. And boy, we've said that time and time and again. Petty's made 2 of 2 from the three-point line, and she also made another basket. So Petty's got 8 tonight so far. As Caden Matlock, she has hit every shot from the floor so far. Missed both free throws, but she's got 6 points tonight. Abby Casper, who's in a bit of a foul trouble. 1 for 1 from the floor. She's got 2 points. Cassidy Odell only made 1 free throw. And so that leads us to the 19-17 score. Shelby, if you're the coaches for both teams, what do you recommend for them?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, if I have any critiques, they're very minor ones. On the Dragons side, as I mentioned, you're seeing the Fort Scott press on them. And with the Dragons, when they get the ball into the front court, they're immediately stopping in a corner, making it very easy for them to get trapped. So I would just keep reminding them, hey, go to the center of the court. I realize that they'll make those passes harder, but try and get to the center. If I'm the Tigers, I'm looking at it this way. Just keep making passes, because when we get in our half-court offense and we make these passes, more often than not, we get a good look for our shots. We may not be always get it inside. The Dragons are doing a good job preventing those interior shots, but we are getting decent shots from the mid-range and even the beyond the arc.
And we talked about it. We talked to Coach Steps on the pregame show, talking to him as he had a big win in the SDK conference on Friday. Going in senior night at Labette County, Tristan Gegg, 2,000 points in her career. Pitt State commit, does not matter. The Tigers come in, go to overtime, and beat that team. That was the #1 team, hadn't lost all season, all but nothing but confidence for this team. But like Coach Stepp said, hey, that can't be the satisfying moment of our season. We got to keep going. This is a tough Pittsburgh team that we're going in. We know what they're like. We're going to have to focus on them and get this victory. On the other hand, Pittsburgh, they played against Chanute. Homecoming night for them. They had to get before they got all dressed up and fancy for the big dance, Shelby, they had to put out a game for their crowd. They did just that. So, like you mentioned, both teams coming off hot win streaks right now. But something's got to come to an end. Someone's got to lose this game. And as of right now, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons have the advantage. But don't look back, because Fort Scott trailed at halftime against Labette County. And what happened in that game? They ended up going to overtime and getting the victory.
This Tiger team is a grinding team, but so are the Dragons. The Dragons start out their season very, very sluggish, but they've climbed now. They're almost 500. So it just proves that if you can grind and just do incremental things better, things will eventually start to fall for you.
And both teams have a lot of chemistry so far. Ball movement has been very, very key. They're both wanting to look for the inside passes, but when you have good defense, it's hard to make those good inside passes. And that's why our score is 17-19. The Purple Dragons have the advantage. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we should be ready for some second half action. You're listening here on ESPN 100.7.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program, and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Hi, I'm Kendall Gammon. You may know me as a Kansas City Chief, but I'm also a proud graduate of Pittsburgh State University. Pittsburgh State offers more than 200 degree programs, small class sizes, and tuition so affordable, it earned Pittsburgh State a top 10 ranking on Washington Monthly's Collegiate Best Bang for Your Buck list. But don't take my word for it. Visit Pittsburgh State and see why there's nothing like being a gorilla. Learn more at pittstate.edu/BA-gorilla.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
PN 1007.
And we are back here inside the gym of Fort Scott as we have an intense one, 19-17 our score. PHS has the lead. Both teams came out of the halftime. They got smiles on their faces. They're ready to go. But Shelby, it's an intense matchup. I think it comes down to discipline. Who takes care of the basketball here and who gets the good inside passes to make the shots.
Little things, like I mentioned at halftime, there are little adjustments each team needs to make. We're going to see who made them and who will continue on and grind out this victory. It's been a one-possession game the entirety of this.
Kelsey Nelson is going to be Tiger basketball. Kelsey Nelson will get it from the side. She's going to throw it in to Madison Cook. I believe it's going to be the starting 5 for both teams out on the floor to start the second half. And we got some Ozzy Osbourne going on here. Crazy Train. before we start the second half.
More of a bark at the moon guy.
Skylar Brown with the basketball. She gets it over. Skylar actually gets it right back as it was a go-to by Dwyer. As it's a rebound by Nelson. Nelson got it, but she put up a shot, no good. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Pittsburgh basketball. So just like that, in 15 seconds, there were 3 shots taken by the Lady Tigers. Casper with it on the right side. Pressured heavily by Brown. Sophia Pinamani over to Petty. Petty takes a deep 3. That's a college range. That's going to go out of bounds. It was a good look for Petty. The thing is just a little too far out in her zone.
She put just a little too much oomph on it, hit that back rim. Not a terrible shot, as you mentioned. She had the look, just didn't quite have it lined up properly.
So that was Petty's first missed 3 of the game. She's now 2 for 3, and now Skylar Brown with it on the left side. She gets it over to Jenny Denton. Denton goes to Daniels on the middle, and it's a turnover just like that. Kelsey Delson had an inside pass, but it was turned over. And now Caden Matlock, this is her shot. It bounces around, and I tell you what, if you leave Caden Matlock open like that, she's going to convert every single time. She is 4 for 4.
That was the first shooter's roll we had for either side. Off the front of the rim, off the backboard, and then in through the net.
And it rolled at the very top, too. Not too many times you get that lucky bounce. Stolen away by the Purple Dragons. Madden Petty's going all the way here. We'll see if Brown can contest. It does not matter as Madden Petty gets a timeout. And just like that, you see the excitement on the Pittsburgh High bench as a timeout quickly by the Fort Scott Tigers. 23-17 our score. Let's take a 30-second timeout. And when we come back, we'll be back for more third quarter action. Listen here on ESPN 100.7.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane Lord basketball camps. Each camper receives individual attention and specific coaching adapted to age and skill level. There's something for everyone. A grade school camp for girls entering 3rd through 8th grade, a high school team camp available on 2 different weekends with both varsity and JV levels of competition, plus satellite camps throughout the summer. All campers receive instruction from head coach Lane Lord, head assistant Amanda David, along with former and current players. For more information, visit them online at LaneLordBballCamps.com. Coach Lord and Coach David have seen tremendous success over the past several years, and they begin their recruiting at these camps, with over 20 former campers being signed. Visit LaneLordBballCamps.com.
Let's go back live courtside.
6:40 left on the clock in the third quarter. 23-17 our score. A quick timeout by Coach Steps and company as the Purple Dragons started heating up. And a good timeout to stop that bleeding as now the Tigers have the basketball on their end. It's a 3-point shot up and good by Madison Cook. So she's going to put up her first 3 of the night, and it is good. Very important 3-point shot made right there by Cook. Casper gets to Matlock, and now Matlock to Pinamani. Madden Petty to the inside. Guys, Caitlin Kidd on the left wing, no good. It's rebounded by Stumple, and now the other side come the Lady Tigers.
Good defensive stand there by the Tigers. Slowly but surely they're chipping away at the momentum that the Dragons just took out and stormed from halftime.
Dwyer had it. Now she gives it to Cook. Cook really thought about that one before passing over to Jenny Denton, and now Stumple has it at the top of the key. Over to the right side, it's Skylar Brown. Brown looks around a little bit, gets a couple of pump fakes. Back to Stumple. Now Skylar wants it again. She's going to dribble with her left hand. Casper all over her as it's now in the hands of Jenny Denton. Denton over to Stumple. Stumple looks around, looking for a pass. Nobody there. Finally finds Carson Dwyer on the left side. Skylar Brown with the basketball on the right side. Jenny Denton, Stumple back at the top of the key. Guarded heavily by Caitlin Kidd. The hot shooter of Madison Cook puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Stumple, and she puts up a shot, no good. So Stumple with her first miss of the night. Casper trying to go coast to coast. Finds Caden Matlock at the top of the key. That's not her shot, but that's been open all night for her. Casper says, let's slow down, let's run the offense, and let's find things out. Back to Petty, over to Matlock, and now we'll go back to Casper on the bottom left of your screen. Kidd with it. Casper now. She has it at the top. And it's that zone defense again, Shelby. They're not going to change their plan. They're going to keep that scheme. Sophia Pinamani, good drive. She should have took it all the way. Finds Casper. Casper shoots it. Bounces off for a 3. No good. Rebounded by Stumple.
That 2-3 zone has done a good job stymieing the interior offense of the Dragons.
Skylar Brown has it, now gets it over to Carson Dwyer. Now back to Brown. Brown for three, you betcha. And so a pair of threes here have really brought things back to where it's supposed to be. 23 all in this matchup. Kidd has no one to give it to. Finds Casper finally. Now back to Caden Matlock. Matlock at the top, guarded by Stumful. She will get it to Sophia Penamonti. Penamonti kicks it back to Kidd. Coach Krotz yelling out a play call. Sophia now has it after the handoff by Casper. It was a great pass to Caitlin Kidd. That's a big foul, but now Caitlin Kidd, who I'd say, Shelby, both teams are kind of struggling from the free throw line. Kidd's going to have to make these two.
Whoever can win at the free throw line at this point, I think, has the best chance of winning at this game, because you're right, Avi. Each team has gone to the line numerous times, and combined they might be shooting 37%.
If I had Cameron Molina's stat thing with me on my computer, I could be able to tell you that, but I can't, Shelby. So Kidd is 0 for 3 from the free throw line. A couple subs coming in, a bit of the small package, if you will, for the Tigers, as it is Josie Allen and Kyra Pryor. Big minutes for those two as Cassidy Odell comes in now. And Odell has a couple fouls, so she's got to have to look out. Kidd's second free throw. Getting ready, she spins the ball. It's been an interesting technique for Kidd. She's trying to mix it up a little bit. Misses that one. That one looked absolutely perfect, but could not go. And rebounded into the hands of Allen, and Allen quickly came down the court. Nothing doing, though. And now Ella Beth with it at the top. She's going to run a play. Gets it over to Skylar Brown on the left side. Brown guarded by Casper. Gets by Casper. Puts up the shot, and it's good. Skylar Brown coming alive here in this second half.
You know, there's not much you can do if you're the Dragons except tip your hat to that shot. You defended it perfectly. A very tough shot, just went into the hoop that time.
Madden Petty, guarded by freshman versus freshman here, as it's Ella Beth over her. Casper, guarded by Skylar Brown. Skylar carefully watching, waiting for Casper to make a move. Gets it to Caden Matlock at the top. Matlock looks for a pass, denied by Stumful. Stumful did not touch it. And that's going to be Tiger basketball. That is interesting.
Well, the Tigers have realized that Matlock isn't going to take a shot at that range, so they're playing her really tight. And they're able to, well, they're playing her loose, I guess I should say, so they can play those passing angles.
Skylar Brown becoming a different ball player than what she was in the first half, as now she tried driving in, gets fouled. She's going to get fouled by Caden Matlock. That's Caden's first. That's the first team foul for Pittsburgh. Skylar Brown on the right side. She looks for Stumful, and Stumful gets denied by Caitlin Kidd as Kidd swatted that one out. And Ella Hendrickson comes back in. Ella's going to need some more big minutes here, Shelby. We've called her name time and time again in games before. Haven't heard too much from her tonight. She's been pretty quiet. Brown looks to the inbound it. She's going to go with the deep ball. Finds Allen. Allen on the inside. Gets it to Madison Cook, but not before a foul is made. I think this one's going right back to Caden Matlock. So back-to-back fouls on Caden Matlock. That's her second. Skylar Brown tying her shoes there before she gets the inbound. Bit of a stack set there. Inside is Stumful. Her shot is up and just rolls out. Rebounded by Cassidy Odell and a bit of Caden Matlock. Odell finally comes up with it. And here comes Abby Casper. She looks for Madden Petty on the right side. And quick timeout by Coach Krotz. I think that's the right call here, Shelby, as it's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here. 25 to 23 our score. 2:36 left here in the third quarter. Bit of an up-tempo second half to start out, Shelby.
Yeah, both teams have changed up a little bit, trying to catch their opposition off balance by running it a little quicker. I think so far the Tigers have been more effective in that, because if you look at it, with just this last possession right before the timeout was called, it looked like Madden Petty was down there in the corner and she was running very out of control, and she could have made a very ill-advised shot or an ill-advised pass.
Coach Krotz drawing up a play call here, trying to mix things up, as he's going to need to confuse this 2-3 defense. So far, things started out hot. That timeout really changed things for PHS. So we'll see if they can change things around as Abby Casper gets it inbound by
Cassidy Odell. Petty on the right side. She's going to blow by 2 defenders, and that Euro step is Madden Petty's move. And you want to talk about perfection. That was just absolutely beautiful. And I believe that was a traveling call. And that's going to be a turnover. And now Pittsburgh, just like that, Shelby, the momentum just changes so quickly in this game.
These teams have been very evenly matched. It has been a one-possession game for the majority of it on either direction or tied. So any little bit of momentum change results in a lead change.
Ella Hendrickson finds Madden Petty. Petty on the inside, and they're going to call a travel. I think that was the right decision. Petty's a little bit not happy with that call. Neither is Coach Kratz. And Coach Kratz is just going to say it's fine. His defense is going to show up for it. And now the other side comes Ella Beth. 2 minutes on the clock. Game's all tied up. Gets it to Skylar Brown. Brown. Nobody's going to contest her. She's going to put the shot every single time. Skylar Brown's really turning things around this second half, Shelby. She was in foul trouble early. She's not looking back.
At this point in the second half, she has no reason to. Just let her play her game, and if she draws the fouls, so be it.
Madden Petty. I don't know how she got that over to Caden Matlock. Caden literally just handed it to Sierra Stumpful. And now a foul on Cassidy Odell. And Cassidy just holding her arms out, asking why.
Odell was trying to cut off Josie Allen at the corner, and she just didn't move her feet enough, according to the official. Not a terrible idea there, as Allen has a rep on her left hand, so she's only able to use her right for the most part.
So Odell charged with her second foul. She will now come out. Riley Johnson comes in for her. Ella Beth with it on the right side, guarded by Madden Petty. To the right side is Josie Allen. Allen puts up a heck of a pump fake. Had me fooled. Didn't fool Riley Johnson, though. Skylar Brown had a hop step. She wanted that shot badly. Now Madison Cook sets a screen for Brown. As Ella Beth has it, she moves up to the top, gets it to Josie Allen. They're just running this offense to really confuse this Purple Dragon defense. Beth over to Brown. Brown on the inside. Gets it to Cook. Back the give and go as it was no good. Skylar Brown, great job, and a rebound and put back by Madison Cook. So Cook continues as it's a 4-point lead for the Tigers.
I gotta tell you, that right there is the offensive ball movement we've seen both sides execute at certain points in this game.
So 30 seconds left on the clock. Casper finds Matlock. This is not her range. Matlock puts up a three, no good. And on the other end comes Brown, and an interesting call. They're going to call her for a travel. I thought she put it down, and she did the Euro step just right. But no good. It's going to be a traveling call, and that's going to give Pittsburgh a chance to put up the last shot.
Checked in for the Tigers, number 15.
You know, I tell you what, Matlock took that shot, if nothing else, to try and get the defense to not be so collapsed in order to open up her passing lanes. Yes, you're right. You mentioned that is not her shot, but she's trying to do it playing the long game to get a little more of a team game going with it.
So Jenny Denton and Abby Humble coming in. 20 seconds left here. Pittsburgh doesn't have to necessarily hurry. They can take their time, put up a good last shot. Petty, she's going to put up a shot. She gets fouled, and the whole gym full of Fort Scott Tigers are confused with that call, as it's going to be called on Sierra Stumpful. That's Sierra's second, and that'll put Madden Petty to the free throw line. Petty has not been in the charity stripe just yet. This will be her first attempt. Petty kicks up her left foot before putting in, and it's no good.
You know, with as much time as the Dragons had left, that could have been a very ill-advised shot by Petty. If she can make this one free throw, it'd make it somewhat worth it. But if she misses both, that's a huge miscue.
And Petty, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. And now quickly on the other end comes the Lady Tigers. It's a floater put up by Josie Allen, the shot is up by Stumple, and it's no good. But that's going to end our third quarter, a very intense, high-paced third quarter to put our score 29-26. We have 1 quarter left. You better hang on tight, Shelby. This one's going to get good. We'll be back here in 30 seconds here on ESPN 100.7.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you've become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
PIC. High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
You heard the bump. High school basketball here on ESPN 100.7. We're inside of Fort Scott as it's a 29-26 lead for the Lady Tigers. Shelby, we talked about it. It's going to come down to discipline here as this fourth quarter is very huge for both teams.
I mean, if you look at it, in each quarter, it has ended with a one-possession game at halftime. The Dragons are up 3. Starting this fourth quarter, the Tigers are up 3. Now it's going to be see who's got the legs to finish this, who's got the will, the grit, and the desire to grind out a victory here.
And one thing, only 2 team fouls for Fort Scott and 3 for Pittsburgh, so that's not a key factor right now. But game time now as Caitlin Kidd goes down the baseline, tries to get it to Caden Matlock, and it is stolen away by Skylar Brown. That's going to be a foul on Caden Matlock. So Matlock came out at the end of the third quarter, and she comes right back in and picks up a foul. That's Matlock's 3rd foul now in the game. And the press is being applied here. It's going to be Abby Humble. She gets it to Madison Cook. Cook clears it out, and she's going to take over. Cook with the basketball, top of the key, guarded by Caden Matlock. Gets it to the freshman in Ella Beth. Beth gets to Skylar Brown. Those two have been the duo lately as they've been passing it back and forth. Brown loses it. She finds Beth. Beth puts up the shot. No good. As a tip by Caden Matlock and then rebounded by Sophia Penamani. And now Coach Krotz yelling out the offensive play call as now Casper looking to do something here. She ISOs, puts up it was a beautiful fadeaway shot. No good. And Caitlin Kidd, who tried going down to get a jump ball, is actually going to get committed with the foul. So, Shelby, I must have jinxed it as 2 quick fouls now in this, not even a minute in the fourth quarter.
I mean, when you're at this point, when you're down by 1 score, you got to play aggressive on both sides of the ball, so you can't really fault the Dragons for having the fouls they've committed this quickly in the fourth quarter.
Addison Cook kicks it over to Skylar Brown. And now Jenny Denton actually has it at the top of the key. She's guarded now. Gets it to Ella Beth. Beth guarded by Madden Petty. An interesting freshman-on-freshman action. Really excited to see these two duke it out later on in their seasons as Madden Petty steals it away, and Petty's going to put up the shot, and it is good. Madden Petty, big contributor right now as she cuts the lead down to 1. 29-28 our score. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening here on ESPN 100.7.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do, right on cue.
100.7.
Welcome back inside the Fort Scott High School Gymnasium. I'm Shelby White alongside Avi Sharma. An absolute barn burner throughout the entirety of this contest. 1 score pretty much is dictated through the entirety, Avi. I got to tell you, it's going to see, basically it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last in this contest.
I don't think that's going to matter, Shelby. If Skylar Brown continues the path that she is on, she is untouchable. As she puts up the shot, it is good. And now Skylar Brown, again, just being a dominant factor in and 1 call. She has a potential chance to put this up to a 4-point game.
I think the largest lead any team has had is 6 points that the Dragons jumped out to start the second half.
So now Brown gets very quiet in here, puts up the free throw, and it is good. So Brown being a key factor in this game later in the series, as the seniors played very well in the second half. Petty now goes by 2 defenders, gets it swatted away by Cook on the inside. It's going to be Tiger basketball still. And now,
again, you're seeing both squads trying to work the ball inside and score, but great defense on both ends has making that very, very difficult.
Dwyer and Nelson both come in for the Lady Tigers. Casper slaps the ball, looks for a pass, finds Caitlin Kidd. Kidd now to Caden Matlock. Matlock really thought about that one before putting it up. Now gets it to Kidd. Kidd's going to put up the shot. It was a great shot, but no good. Rebounded by Cook, and Cook comes down, gets it over to Skylar Brown, and Skylar can either run this thing like she always does or slow down the tempo. She slows it down, gets it to Nelson. Back to Brown. Brown has multiple pump fakes. Cook one-on-one against Matlock. Great defense. It was a give-and-go pass to Skylar Brown, and I tell you what, Shelby, this is something else. Skylar Brown has really done a phenomenal job. 6-point lead now, 5:30 on the clock. Coach Krotz has no other option but to take a timeout here.
You know, Skylar Brown has just completely perfected that running jump shot down the lane and using the glass to kiss it in. She's got the perfect touch. She knows that if she passes in, to her post player and they get it right back to her, she can do a quick pump fake, get a drag and leave her feet, create that opening she needs to go down the lane.
Well, Skylar's guarded by the best player on the Purple Dragons team on defense, and that's Abby Casper. Casper's done a phenomenal job all her 4 years of high school here at Pittsburgh High, and she's just not getting the job done, I think the main problem is when Cook gets it on the inside, Abby wants to come in and help out, and by doing that, you leave a wide open Skylar Brown for a 3, and by the time Casper gets back, if the shot's either up or Brown's going right by her.
The Dragons are not doing very well on collapsing on interior defense. They have a good single defender down in the post, but they haven't gotten the proper rotations to get that second one to help.
And so now, 34-28 our score, 5:37 on the clock. Huge implications for both teams here in the SCK Conference. Both teams trying to up their record so they can have a home game in sub-state. It's been a very intense and wild one. Both teams are riding that hot streak as Pittsburgh played Chanute last Friday, got the win on homecoming. Fort Scott upsetting Labette County at home on senior night. We'll see if they can continue their streak as they're up 6. Casper to the left side to Petty. Petty guarded heavily by Jenny Denton. Gets by Denton somehow. Puts up a shot. No good. And jump ball. And I tell you what, Madden Petty escaped a foul there because she reached around Denton to try to get that.
I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't called a foul as it was. No, the ball was not secured at that point, but it was clear as day that she made a lot of contact going over and through to try and get the ball.
So Cook, the senior with the basketball, she's going to get it over, and she will find Dwyer, who gets it to Skylar Brown. Brown guarded by Casper. We talked about that matchup already. And now Kelsey Nelson gets it to Madden Petty, who steals it. Madden, again, big put up here. It just rolls out. Petty slaps the mat as she's upset that she should have converted right there. And Kelsey Nelson's going to get committed with the foul.
You know, Nelson, I think, bumped Petty, just enough on the shot to change the angle of the ball hitting the glass, causing it to miss.
And I think the key thing there that happened was Petty baited that pass to happen. And by her doing that, she's just so good as a freshman. She makes her first free throw, a very important free throw out of the fact she's now 2 for 3. Couple substitutions. Cassidy Odell comes in for Sophia Pinamani, and Sierra Stumpful, who's had big minutes as a junior, comes in. She came in for Kelsey Nelson. Petty's second free throw, you betcha. She's now 3 for 4. The press being applied. Skylar Brown has it. She's going to get by at half court. Casper all in her grill. Gets it over to Cook. And now Cook wants to slow things down. Gets it to Skylar inside. Skylar double team, put up a weird shot. I don't think she knew where she was, and that's going to be Purple Dragon basketball.
I think what she was trying to do, because she saw there were dragons all around her, she was hoping that she could just throw up any old shot and get the foul called on her to give her 2 chances at the charity stripe.
4-point ball game, 4:30 on the clock. Cassidy Odell to Madden Petty. Madden's been the hot hand. There's the Euro step yet again. Madden Petty, 6 for 8 from the field today.
Petty is about a purest scorer as you are going to see here in the SEK. And then you mentioned her defense some already. Just imagine how more refined she's going to be next year and the year after that, and then finally her senior season.
Dwyer guarded by Cassidy Odell. Now Denton versus Abby. Abby is all in her grill as it was a dead ball, and she's going after her. Look at the aggressiveness by Abby Casper. As the shot is up by Stumpful, no good. Rebounded by Madden Petty, who's in the corner, needed to get rid of it, does so. And Casper looks up as a deep court pass to Caden Matlock, who puts it up and in, and just like that, Shelby, we're tied up.
Momentum is like a pendulum, and I got to tell you, in this game, it is swinging wildly and erratically. Neither team is able to hold on to it for much.
We have a timeout on the floor. I think this is another great timeout. The momentum changed. Coach Steps knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to change things up, talk to his girls, say, hey, it's okay. 3:28 on the clock, 34 all our score. We'll be back here in 30 seconds here on ESPN 100.7.
Don't miss the live radio auction Saturday, February 24th, starting at 8 a.m. here on ESPN 100.7. Also broadcast on My Country 101.7 and KWXT 103.5. We will have farm, soybeans, equipment, and more, plus food plots for those deer hunters, recliners, mattresses, meat bundles, generators, and the list keeps growing. If your business would like to get in auction, call 620-232-5993 for more info. To get your business on the area's largest radio auction, covering Southwest Missouri and Southeast Kansas, February 24th at 8 a.m. Don't miss it.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
It is crunch time here within Fort Scott as our score is tied up at 34. 3 minutes left on the clock. It is Tiger basketball. Almost lost it was the Tigers as Dwyer ended up with it. Now she gets it to Ella Beth. Beth now finds Skylar Brown. And interesting here, Shelby, 2-3 defense ran now by the Purple Dragons, who now switch it back to a man defense. Inside, Cook puts up a tough shot over Matlock. It's good.
Tip your hat. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful move and shot by Cook.
Casper didn't have to hurry here. She gets down the court, gets it to Matlock, and now Cassidy Odell looking around for the inside pass. It was there, but she just stared it down the whole time, so it's an easy steal by Stumpful, who gets it. And now Cook with the basketball. Again, great play call, but just not the right move by Cassidy Odell. Stumpful inside, basket up, no good by Dwyer. Rebounded by Dwyer. Dwyer gets it in.
This right here is the toughest 140 seconds these girls are going to play for the remainder of the game.
Well, it's going to be added more time to it as a timeout by Coach Chris Klotz of the Purple Dragons. It's going to be a full timeout. So 38-34 our score. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We're going to come back to some more fourth quarter action. Listen here on ESPN 100.7.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And you might want to stream this game as it's a 4-point ball game, 38-34. Fort Scott with the lead. And Shelby, it's just been a phenomenal matchup so far.
I mean, there's been spurts of great defense on both sides. There's been spurts of great offense on both sides. That's not much more than you want if you are a fan of athletics, just to see greatness played at any point in the game.
Well, for the Purple Dragons, they're going to need that momentum to come back on their side. Who knows what the momentum bar is at right now, as it just keeps changing so many times. Abby Casper with the top of the key, runs a play, Coach Krotz must have drawn up something, and this is interesting. Madden Petty called with the offensive foul. Petty, as soon as she got called for the foul, looked at the ref and said, I did nothing. And immediate bench warning for Coach Krotz, and he can't believe it. And so Coach Krotz doing the right thing, just talks to his girls, say, hey, let's go, let's go, turn this thing around. 2:11 on the clock. It's Stumful to inbound, as they wanted to make sure everyone was ready. Stumful will inbound it. She gets it to Cook. Easy timing. And here's the key thing about high school, Shelby. No shot clock. You can waste as much time as you want here.
Yes, you can, but you also have to be very, very careful with how you waste that time, too.
Well, time wasn't almost wasted, as Madison Cook was wide open. She put up a layup, and she's fouled as she almost made it, and now she's going to go to the free throw line to put up 2 as Caitlin Kidd gets committed with the foul. So we'll see if Cook can deliver. She does on the first attempt.
And now you're looking at, if you're the Dragons, how do you want to play this? Because you're at 8 fouls. You have one more you can give just for the one-on-one aspect, and beyond that, you're shooting 2 all the time.
Josie Allen on the floor for the Tigers. She'll come in for Carson Dwyer. And 2 for 2. Goes Cook. Cassidy Odell puts up a tough shot. She gets fouled. It was a late call, but I think it was the right call as Odell's going to the free throw line.
It was a very late call, and right under the basket did Odell put up that shot. Kind of a questionable defensive decision if you look at it, because where she was at, there was no chance the ball was going in.
Odell, first free throw, it is good. Cassidy's been very vital to this team. Coming off the bench at the beginning of the season, she really didn't get the chance to do that. Come Christmas break, she got sick, didn't have the opportunity. Now she's really stepping up, playing a big role as a sophomore. Second free throw, you betcha. So Odell, 3 for 4. Sophia Penamani comes in for her, actually. Odell has foul trouble, so they were just making sure that she stays out of that.
And you also look at it with 2 minutes left to go. That's a lot of time left in this game. Give Odell a chance to catch a breath, refresh her legs, so that later when this is real crunch time, she can come in and possibly do some offensive damage.
So 1:51 on the clock. They wanted to confirm something at the scorers table. I believe it was just the team fouls. It's at 8. And everything is good to go now. Cook with the basketball. No one pressuring her, really. Matlock going to meet her at half court. Cook has been the big factor here, but not as big as Skylar Brown in the second half. Brown has not touched the ball too many times here in this fourth quarter. Now I say it, she gets it. She's going to look to drive past Casper. Puts a crossover on Casper, nothing to do it. Ella Beth, the freshman, can she put on some good moves? Fouled by Madden Petty. Petty bounces around, slaps her hands, a little bit upset with the call as Petty committed with her third foul, 19th foul, so that's going to bring in Josie Allen. She's going to come back in for Carson Dwyer, and then back comes Cassidy Odell. They're basically doing that to run the offense, defense, basically, and make sure they stay out of foul trouble.
I know Petty may be upset with it, but I think it was the right call. There was just enough of the hand on her to force the foul.
First free throw by the freshman. It's no good. Rebounded by Caden Matlock. Matlock gets it to Casper. And instant timeout by Coach Chris Krotz. And they're going to need to talk this over, Shelby, as they're down 4. Going to have to think of something to get past the Lady Tigers. 40-36 our score. 1:22 on the clock. Hang on tight. We got a 30-second break. When we come back, you'll see the end of this one here on ESPN 100.7.
What do you want from your Mr. Motors?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Zero-turn mowers, Hustler mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburgh.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
We welcome you back to ESPN 100.7, 40 to 36 hour score, 122 on the clock. The referee over there by the Pep Club getting a bit of a wave at the crowd there, blowing him off, cooling him off after he's having a pretty intense game. But so everyone in there is having an intense game, Shelby. 40 to 36 our score.
I mean, it's very, very tight at this point. Close game. Technically a 1-point game. If you get a 3-point shot and a foul on the shot, you get a 4-point play. 80 seconds left. Everyone's going to be fighting their hardest.
Caitlin Kidd tried to go for the quick give and go. It's stolen away by Stumful, who Madden Petty stole it back, and they're going to call a jump ball. And it's going to be Purple Dragon basketball, and we have an injury on the floor. It's going to be Stumful, who is in a lot of pain as Madison Cook immediately waved over there to make sure she's okay.
It was a definite hard fall to the ground because they were both going for the ball, and they just rolled over each other. I think she just hit her face right on the floor. Hopefully she didn't bite her cheek or her tongue and do like serious damage at this point. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a banged up bruise situation. And here she is getting up, and good on her.
Well, the best thing you can always see is someone getting up under their own power and getting up and going from that. But I tell you what, Stumful is quite the player to have, Shelby. She's had a phenomenal game. She's put up big minutes, scoring a lot for this team, getting key rebounds. And that right there was a big steal because now, yes, the Purple Dragons have the basketball, but there goes their possession on another jump ball.
This late in the game, when you have very little fouls and very few timeouts, the jump ball arrow is vastly important, and you really don't want to burn it on something as petty as like what happened just now.
So Dragons will inbound. Caitlin Kidd barely came up with it. Casper gets it back to her. Minute on the clock. Time is ticking here for the Purple Dragons. Casper, this is her shot. No good. Rebounded by Dwyer, who gets it to Cook. Fouls are going to happen here, Shelby. Again, no shot clock here in the high school level. Cook. Barely guarded by Caden Matlock, and there's the call.
You know, it kind of makes you wonder, why do you take so long to foul for shooting free throws? You know what's going to happen eventually. Just do it and go ahead and get it over with.
So Caden Matlock committed with the 4th foul. It's the 10th team foul, so it's a 1-and-1. Cook, first one, yes. So Cook 3 for 3 from the line right now. And for Pittsburgh, you got to go. You got 3-point shooters, but you don't necessarily have to put up a 3 in this moment. You get a quick 2, try to get a stop, and then get the 3 up. Second free throw by Cook, it's good. 4 for 4 now.
Massive free throws right there made by Cook.
Got to go if you are PHS. Caden Matlock over to Cassidy Odell. Odell's going to drive and put up a tough shot. No good. Rebounded by Skylar Brown. And you got a foul. Yep, there's the foul committed by Madden Petty. And it seems the clock not on the side, and neither is the scoreboard of the Purple Dragons.
Now, we mentioned at halftime how each team has fared shooting from the line. And in this half, and specifically this quarter, the Tigers just seem to have found the groove they need to make the ball find the bottom of the hoop from the line.
Skylar Brown's first free throw, yes. 43 to 36, it's a 7-point game now. Brown dribbles it up, puts up the shot, and it is good. And gotta go if you're PHS. Casper hurries across the side, gets it to Matlock. They've run this offense time and again, so you'd think by now they would know what it is. Petty just runs into a brick wall. She runs right into Cook. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Tiger basketball. And we'll see how much pressure is applied here, and we'll see if PHS calls the fouls.
Good setup defensively by Cook, letting Petty have no room.
And I think that's going to be Madden's 5th. I think she's done. Yeah. So Petty fouls out. She had a great game. That'll do it for her, and that should do it for the Purple Dragons. Is now 14 on the clock. They're down by 8. Riley Johnson will come in for her.
You know, if you think about it, it's not much that Petty could do there. Yeah. She played as best as she could, and she knows to give her team the best chance of winning. She had to make those 2 fouls that she did.
Skylar Brown added to the resume as she is doing a phenomenal job from the free throw line. 6 of 7.
Truly remarkable.
Only 4 Purple Dragons inside as Brown makes it 7 of 8. 10-point ball game. Purple Dragons will just try to get a score here. It not necessarily will matter as Castillo Dell puts up a shot. She is fouled by Cook.
At this point in the game, you really hate to say that it's over, but you think the clock is just barely out of reach for the Dragons on their side. So they're playing for pride. They're playing to score as much as they can and just put up a good showing.
Cassidy's been very well at the free throw line. Puts on another one. She is 4 of 5. Cuts the lead to 9, 6.9 on the clock. Second one is no good. Rebounded by Dwyer, who gets it to Cook, and that should do it. 46-37 our score. The Fort Scott Tigers sweep Pittsburgh this year. A big momentum victory as they now have won 6 straight for Coach Steps and company, as they are looking good to end the SEK conference with a bang. 46-37 our score. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with some stats, and we'll actually get into the boys' action. You're listening here on ESPN 100.7.
Specializes in designing and building post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether it's a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI, everything.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than city-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness without exact time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, for your family and matter. And it's faster than that.
Let's go back live courtside.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? Talking mobile banking, instant debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards. And let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Let's go back live courtside.
Welcome back to ESPN 100.7. I'm Avi Sharma alongside head coach of Pittsburgh boys basketball, Kylie Rolfe. Coach, it was a big win against Chanute. It was homecoming. Talk about the atmosphere and how you were able to get you guys focused up before the big game. Coach, one thing after the game, we had a post-game interview with you. One thing I want to touch on that you brought up was it was a bit of a senior night as well. So you had a couple stars with Dalton Gromer and Alex Kafka. That you have with players. Avi Sharma along here with head coach of Pittsburgh boys basketball, Kylie Rolfe. Coach, the team's chemistry has been absolutely phenomenal lately. It was a bit of a bumpy road at the beginning, but it seems that all these guys need to do is place the ball together on the court against some live opponents. And it seems like they're doing a great job of that right now. How have you and the other coaches have got these guys' chemistry to be so perfect?
Well,
Coach,